Have you ever just been annoyed at the current state of the music industry? It seems as though every artist that comes out nowadays, whether existing or a newer one, it seems as though every single song is about having sex, doing drugs, and flaunting money in crazy looking cars with jackets and chains. It's gotten so prevalent that even music and pop and rap and now it's even pervading the rock industry, turning into pop punk, which isn't a real genre. Don't believe them. They'll say it is, but it's not. It's a terrible, terrible part. Don't listen to it. It's awful. But it's gotten to a point now that only a few musicians that actually write their songs put their heart and their soul into the music that they write, and they sing, and they perform. And it seems as though there are fewer and fewer of them, and I would call them actual artists. So many of the musicians nowadays on the top charts seems like it's just corporate music. Put the same beat with a slightly different tone and make it somewhat catchy and say the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. And there you go. There's your music. But nothing deep, nothing thought-provoking. And then, a few months back, I ran into a rapper. Now, I'm not a big rap fan. I have listened to it occasionally. But if you're rapping and you're going, I really don't want to listen to that. I could do that in my sleep. I like to hear stuff that matters, and I can understand it. Thank you. Anyways, instead of slurring your tongue around, I listened to a new rapper called Tom MacDonald. I have used his music in the intro of my videos in the past. He is a phenomenal artist. Just this week, I believe it was about 3 to 4 days ago, he released a new song called I Wish. And if you want to know, Tom MacDonald's very moderate, I want to say, in his political leanings. But he's very much so against political correctness and SJW and PC kind of, oh, you're hurting my feelings, type thing. And he actually has a song called Political Correctness, and it is a phenomenal song. I mean, so much truth in such a little bit amount of time, and he does it really well. But in his newest song, I Wish, it kind of connected with me on a very emotional and personal level. Recently, I've been thinking about childhood. It all started when I was thinking about Robin Williams, and I was watching this documentary about him, and basically they were saying that Robin Williams was a man-child. And I said to myself, well, is that a bad thing? Because Robin Williams was regarded as one of the most lovable people in the entire world. And then I started realizing that maybe childhood, the thing we look back to, the good old days, quote unquote, maybe as an adult, I think Robin Williams did something really well, and that is being able to hold on to his childhood and grow up with it. And I think a lot of people think that when they hit adulthood, they have to throw out all their childhood away. I believe that you should throw away childish things, like your attitude and like having temper tantrums. But there's good childish attitudes, like wonder and excitement and joy and being happy with what you get and making the best out of it. And I think those are qualities that as adults we lose. And kids seem to gravitate towards them, more. Anyways, all that to say, in Tom MacDonald's song I Wish, At first, it doesn't make sense, but he starts explaining it in the song, and then it makes sense. But it's basically like he's saying, growing up, being older, because he's in his 30s, he's like, I want happiness again. He's like, I want my family. I want my sister. I want my mom. I want my dad. He's like, I want that nostalgia, that childish feeling again. And in the bridge to the song, or the third verse, he was like, I wish that I was a kid again, way back before everything was on Instagram. And he starts showing these videotapes from the 1990s of his childhood, I presume. And it just had such nostalgic flashbacks for me, which was, I miss that era in which you can just be yourself. And as a kid, hold on to that feeling. And it just, that not having to worry about the social conformities of the world, not having to worry about, oh, is this going to offend someone? Oh, is this going to be seen on the internet? As a kid back in the 90s, man, you didn't care about the internet. I mean, yeah, it was there, but it wasn't as prevalent. Like, oh yeah, mom's getting on the computer. Whatever. Sometimes you bought those really cheap computer games, but like Putt Putt or Freddy Fish or Pajama Sam or what was it, Sly Fox, I think? Spy Fox, I think. Anyways, I used to play those games like crazy. I was addicted. But, and nowadays, it's like we're always on computers. And nothing's wrong with that. I think that we just lose that touch of childhood. And in a way, I think that Tom MacDonald's song, I Wish, gives us this feeling that, I wish we could go back to a day where social media wasn't prevalent. And then I was thinking about this on the way while I was driving to school this morning, was, you know what? Maybe being a kid and longing for that is because social media is bad. And I'm not saying all of it's bad, and there's positives, but I think the overabundance of it can give us a bad rep, quote unquote, and give us bad attitudes. And but YouTube's different. I think YouTube's a lot different because YouTube, you can talk video to video. You can do live streams, you can do debates if you wanted. It's more of a personal thing than like Facebook, where it's just typing out messages most of the time. So I think YouTube's different in that sense. Nonetheless, Tom MacDonald is a fantastic artist, a genius in his own right. I do not agree with everything he says, obviously, but I would say that about 95% of what he says I do agree with. He's a really good artist, very original, and you should check him out. Check out his song I Wish, Politically Incorrect, White Boy, Hell of It. He has a lot of other songs too. Everybody Hates Me, that was one of the most recent ones he came out with. Check him out, and I'll talk to you guys later.